mean, when you're doing a wedding, it's so personal. Why not personalize?
I'm liking this. I'm liking where this is going. Okay. So, tell me a little bit about yourself. How did you get started as being a chef? Because
Yeah.
That a lot of chefs after work, the first thing that they want to do is grab a cocktail or grab a beer. So when preparing this look that you're getting ready to have for her, will it be difficult for her to transition into a night atmosphere if she wanted to?
Not at all, not at all. She could really just glam it up a little bit, maybe a little bit more on her lip, a little bit more on a shadow or a smoke in her eye, and she'd be ready to go for like a nighttime look. So daytime to nighttime is not hard to transition from at all.
Well, you heard it here first. We have some of the top designers, top photographers, event production managers, as well as project managers. And we look forward to seeing you in just a little bit with Suzy Singh and the rest of our team. So the last time you saw us, we were in the middle of a living room with tons of makeup, tons of props, and the young lady back there, which is Suzy Singh. She's in the middle of a photo shoot right now. But I'd like to take a minute and speak with Joni of Jewelry Artistry and figure out what she did to capture the look this evening. Joni? Anyway, so the look that you put together for Suzy, like what was the inspiration behind it?
Well, she loves to emphasize her eyes, which are gorgeous, so really we played up her eyes. We did like a nice sculpted eye with a really nice glow as well in the summertime, and so we did a nice like contour highlight and then just popped it with a little bit of a nice lip on her just to, you know, go with her dress as well, so she's working.
If you are what you say you are, a superstar, then have no fear. The camera's here and the microphones, and they wanna know, the return. If you are what you say you are, a superstar, then have no fear. The crowd is here and the lights are on, and they wanna show, yeah, a fresh cool young.
So here we are, this is scene one, take one. We're at the historic location at CIU, a Hall House kitchen, getting ready to interview Suzy Singh for another great production. Take one.
Hi, I'm Asmi Bahari, and we are here at the historic Chicago Hall House with Chef Suzy Singh.
Hi guys, how's it going?
Great. Well, we're excited to talk to you for California South Asian Bride magazine. Good to see you.
Welcome to the kitchen.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So, tell me a little bit about yourself. How did you get started as being a chef? Because,
Yeah.
you know, being Indian, it's not exactly...
It's not the norm, right?
Right.
So I actually worked in neurosurgery for about 7 years before I became a
Wow.
chef. Yeah. So I worked in neurosurgery as a neural engineer, and then I've always known that I loved cooking. I just didn't know what I was going to do with it.
Right.
And so I enrolled at Le Cordon Bleu, and I worked in the OR from 6 a.m. to about 6:30 p.m., and then went to culinary school from about 6:30 p.m. to about 11 p.m. And I knew on my very first date, you know, it's like
Right.
when you know, like when
The
you're in
passion.
love. Yeah. I found my fuel, I found my fire.
Right.
And this was it. It was amazing.
Wow.
Yeah.
So, I think you really came into the nation's eye on MasterChef season
Yeah.
2.
Mm-hmm.
So, how did you decide to try out, and How was that process like?
This is a really good question. So I was at Le Cordon Bleu. This is a Friday morning, and I took the day off of work because I wanted to learn more pastry, more sweet cuisine than savory. And
Right.
I'm a savory chef. I do a lot more like hearty, classic French cuisine.
Right.
And so I took the day off on Friday and went to Le Cordon Bleu and learned how to make gingerbread from scratch and fondant from
Wow.
scratch. Yeah,
Wow.
to make it like taste good. So this is like the one time where I was able to make fondant actually taste amazing. And so I made this 3-story boulangerie, which is like just in French bread,
Right.
bread making bakery. And I was going out into the hallway to like set it down to like display it,
Right.
like in our display case. And I ran into the casting producers of MasterChef.
Oh wow.
And-
At the Cordon Bleu.
At Le Cordon Bleu, they were scouting up because that weekend is like when they were supposed to do their auditions.
Right.
And so I'm holding this like 3-story boulangerie and I'm like pointing in the other direction, like where the room is. And they're like, Suzy, you've got so much personality, just change outfits and come to the audition. And so I started watching MasterChef on Hulu, and it was the episode where they met Kat Cora.
Oh yeah.
And I thought to myself, if there's even like a 1% chance that I can meet someone that amazing, I'm gonna do it. So I went to the auditions. I was in the very last group of Chicago to audition for the show.
Wow.
It was insane. And so when I was there auditioning, I ended up making this butter chicken ravioli with a lassi foam with mango and pomegranate caviar balls. So a little bit of Italian, a little
Oh
bit of
my goodness.
Punjabi, a little bit of
Right.
molecular. And got through the first round. 8 rounds later, we had about 50,000 people audition. In the 8th round, there were 100 people, and they asked us to go to LA.
One thing that really stood out is you're able to mix a lot of different things together.
Yeah.
And we've been talking all day about the fusion aspect of
Mhm.
bringing Indian cuisine.
Sorry, I can smell it.
Of course. So bringing Indian cuisine into lots of different things. So how do you do that? And I think this is a 2-part question because I think our readers love they're getting married. So
Oh, yeah.
how do brides bring that into their special day? So their treats aren't the traditional.
And I'm going to say this constantly.
Uh-huh.
Fusion sometimes equals confusion. Like if you put too much of the items together, you're not going
Right.
to get a strong balance of either of those items.
Right.
So you want to make sure that you're able to honor the foundation of each cuisine.
Suzy, you've had such an amazing journey and you're still so young. And we're just really enjoying watching you come up in the culinary world. But what are some of the highlights you've experienced? Maybe some personal highs that
From the show or like after the show?
just even after the show. I know last weekend you did Lala, which is a huge thing.
All right, I'm going to stop playing because this is
Yes.
a great question. So when it comes to like over like the last year, I mean literally from like MasterChef, my life has totally changed.
Mhm.
And I strongly believe that like you need to have some type of strategic goal,
Right.
like what is your ultimate? And I ask all of my friends this, right? Because for me, like I'm following my passion, but I'm not following it blindly, So there's
Very important.
a goal at the very end of this, right?
Right.
And my ultimate goal is to not only have my own like frozen food line, but also to do more in media. I want to be the next Indian Rachel Ray. That is my ultimate. Whether
Right.
it's in Bombay or the U.S., it will happen.
Yes.
It's just a matter of where.
Right.
And so everything that I've done like in the last year and a half has led me to like where I am now and where I'm going to go.
Right.
Some fun things that I've experienced. I threw out the first pitch for the Cubs. I'm a diehard Cubs fan.
That's really
Yeah.
exciting, especially being a Chicagoan.
Chicagoan and
Right.
the Sox as well. So my dad
Right.
loved that one. But I was like,
Congrats.
yeah, we did. We actually did a little bit of like
There you
fun
go.
like on the field. It was awesome.
Right.
There's so many different things. Kenmore Kitchen was a lot of fun.
Okay.
Starting the first Indian food truck in the city was amazing. It was such a
Right.
cool experience.
Right.
Even just being on the radio. So I'm on WGN every Friday nights now.
Oh,
And I
okay.
talk about just food, like food in the city and
Right.
like what's the trend, what's in, what's going on,
Right.
like, with like the newest restaurants. But I have to say my most favorite thing is actually seeing like my family and like seeing their progression of acceptance.
So I want to end with 2 last questions.
Yeah.
One being, who are some of your culinary inspirations?
Okay. Graham Elliott is definitely one of them.
Okay.
Graham Elliott was
Right
one
here
of
in
the
Chicago, right?
right here in Chicago, one of the judges. He's super positive. I've actually worked with him in his kitchen last year, and he's always brought like a very positive.
Right.
I also think Rachel Ray is amazing. I mean, from a personality standpoint, as well as
she
cooking.
Just pops off the screen.
She's like the girl next door, right? Like you want to be friends with her.
Right.
You want to get some whiskey with her. That's her favorite drink. And of course, my dad. My dad is my ultimate inspiration. He is the reason why I really pursued cooking. He's amazing.
So last question.
Yeah.
You've kind of become famous for Suzy samosas.
I am.
And it's, you know, the samosa is such a traditional thing. You know, our moms make it, our grandmothers make it.
Totally.
And we've been growing up eating it. But you have put quite a spin on the samosa. So tell us about some of the fillings you've used and how you even thought of those
But
combinations.
I went to India between the taping of MasterChef and the actual like showing of it. And I explored the streets of Dubai and Punjab. And there is when I fell in love with samosas. And I realized that I wanted to bring street food to Chicago, but in a very fusion-esque way.
Right.
So what I have, my traditional ones right now, are the butter chicken samosa, the apple pie samosa.
Wow, so it's a dessert samosa.
Dessert samosa, and it's so funny because...
nothing's more American than apple pie.
I know! You're absolutely right on about that. Speaking of samosas, that's right here for you guys.
Wow.
And we've got some delicious apple pies that are still baking now.
Well,
This gorgeous butterscotch caramel. But some of the other really crazy ones that I've done, we've got the lamb shawarma samosa, peanut butter and jelly samosa. For the chew, I did a Thai duck samosa. That was a lot of fun.
wow, that's really different.
Yeah, it's totally different. It's an honor to be here, and you're amazing at interviewing. It's great. Thanks. Bye, guys. Bye.
I'm liking this. I'm liking where this is going.
Where is it going? Where is it going, J. Lori on the street?
Yeah,
To the top, because we're going to the top.
To the top. You heard it here first.
I'm going to the top.
Or chains.
Full chains.
All right, you ready?
This is it. So what was that last question?
Yeah.
Your hair looks awesome.
There you go. Yeah, then it won't be in your face.
This feels really good too.
That's pretty.
Okay.
This totally works.
Okay,
Awesome.
perfect.